Seventh class. Today we will read the second part of Expert Detectives. So, second part. I wrote in large block letters catching a crook. Expert detectives Nishad and Maya Pandit by appointment to the whole world. Then I began writing. About half an hour later, I turned towards Seven, who was lying on his tummy, chin cupped in his palms, reading comics. Want to hear what I have written? I asked. He looked up questioningly. I have listed all the facts we know about Mr. Nath which might help us to trap him, I said. Want to hear? Seven nodded. Fact number one, I read this. His name is Mr. Nath. We must discover his first name. Do you think that's his real name? Maya, Nishad asked. Probably not, I said. Most crooks have an alias. I added a big question mark after Nath. Fact number two, I read on the tenants at Shankar House say he is mad, strange, and unfriendly. Number three, he doesn't talk to anyone and is mannerless. But he did talk to us, Maya, and Mama says he's very polite. Nishad interrupted. He only talked to us because he had to. I said, and since he was under Mama's medical treatment, he had to be polite. Fact number four, he doesn't receive any letters. Seven nodded. Number five, he has been living in room 10 of Shankar House for more than a year. I continued. Number six, he doesn't work and sits in his room all day. Number seven, the kids in Shankar House and even some of the grown ups are scared of him. Number eight, he has no visitors except for a spectacled, fair, fat man who visits him on Sundays for lunch. Number nine, food and tea are taken to his room by Ramesh from the restaurant downstairs. He does not care what he eats, pays his bill immediately, and tips well. That ends my list. Have I forgotten anything? Seven. Nishad had obviously not been paying too much attention to my list of facts. All he could say was, poor man Maya, he must be so lonely if he doesn't have any friends. How can a crook have friends, idiot? I almost shouted. At least he has one friend, the one who meets him on Sundays, said Nishad. A brilliant thought occurred to me just then. That man must be Mr. Nath's accomplice in crime, I said. Maybe he keeps all the loot and he comes now and then to give part of it to his partner, Mr. Nath, for expenses. That's it. I am sure I am right. If you insist on calling him a criminal, I don't think I want to discuss anything with you, Maya, said Nishad angrily. He can't be such a bad man if he gives Ramesh such generous tips. Ramesh probably knows something about his past, so Mr. Nath must be bribing him to keep quiet, I said. Nishad glared at me with his arms tightly crossed across his chest. I was beginning to get fed up with him. How can we make any progress with our investigations if you take that attitude, Seven? I asked. I'll cooperate only if you give up this idea about him being an escaped crook, said Seven. You really make me angry. I almost hit him. I make you angry, you stupid? Oh, I shouted. You make me mad. What is the point of all these inquiries if he is not a crook? If you think he is a nobody, what's the idea of bothering about him? Please tell me. Nishad looked thoughtful. I would like to find out why he is so thin and why he is so lonely. I want to know why he doesn't have any friends and live alone. Try to understand, Seven, I told him. If he is lived in Shankar house for a year and hasn't made a single friend, there is something wrong. He is obviously scared that someone will recognize him and give him up to the cops. Maybe no one's tried to make friends with him, Nishad protested. Why should anyone bother? You have seen what a nasty bear he is, I said. I don't care, said Nishad stubbornly. Stubbornly. I like him and I'm going to try and be his friend. Friends with a crook. Ha, you are crazy. 7, I said. The cops will take you to jail with him. Do you want that to happen? You idiot. Nishad merely glared at me and quietly walked out of the room. My theories seemed to have made no impression on him at all. Shada Dwivedi from the Broken Flute. So please like, share and subscribe.